Do you have a child that's been diagnosed with ADHD or ADD? How are they doing at school? Are they struggling? Do you find it a struggle with them? Have you ever thought about maybe bringing them out of school and homeschooling them? Sometimes people ask me, do you think that I can homeschool my child, with ADHD? And you know what? Yes. You know what? It might not be the easiest. I will say that. But I truly believe that it can be rewarding to homeschool a child with ADHD. And so let's look at that. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are looking at homeschooling and ADHD. And is that something you can do? Is that something that you can be successful in? You know what? Really, yes, I think that you can. And we're seeing homeschooling growing for so many different reasons. And so many families realizing how it can be such a great and beneficial thing for them as a family, for them as their children, that, we might be on a struggle bus, with some things at school, but maybe just taking a breath and bringing it home and educating at home can be just such a great thing. But maybe you're wondering, where do I start with this? Can I, Well, that's why I'm here. And I love bringing these videos. I do love trying to answer those questions. Can we be doing that? Bringing you the information, looking at so many of these different things, because I love to research. And so I love to bring it to you. And thank you so much for watching, for your likes, subscribes, comments. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. There can be many different reasons why a family might choose to bring their child out of the school setting and bring them in for homeschooling. Really, there are two main ones. One, it's really just not working. The traditional school setting is just frustrating to children with ADHD many times. I mean, you think about it, a noisy classroom, lots of students, desks being assigned and stuck to a desk, the teachers up the front, and all of these different things. And, many times our kids with ADHD just get into trouble for being a distraction, and they don't mean to be. It's just how they're wired. For some families, it's I don't want that for my child. I don't want them to be that frustrated at school. I don't want them to lose their love of learning. I want them to be happy. Let's bring them home. And another reason can be about medication. Some families don't want to medicate, and I'm totally on board with that. Or others have been my child has been on a medication and I just want to take them off it. That is great. That can be a real driving force in bringing a child home for homeschooling with ADHD. And I think that is amazing. And really, when we look at it, there are learning needs that are different for a child with ADHD. I mean, that's why we have 504 plans. That's why we have IEPs. That's why we have that. We recognize that there are maybe things that they need. And when you bring them home, you get to individualize their education, where you can see their strengths. And with those strengths, we can support those weaknesses, and we can build up and work with that and tailor it to meet their specific needs. And to me, that is really such the rewarding thing. That's the beautiful thing, and that's why it is so worthwhile. How can you successfully homeschool a child with ADHD? Well, there are some things that we can do when we're looking at it. We want to be successful, right? We're trying to set ourselves up for that. And that's usually one of our questions. I don't want to fail. How can I be a success? So really start by learning more about ADHD, about how those amazing brains work. Maybe some of the needs, talking and exploring your child's specific needs, but learning more about it is such a great way to then being able to incorporate these different ideas. Be organized. Okay, many of our ADHD children need to be organized and simple, not over the top. Things need to be simple and uncluttered, but organized, color-coded, sorted so that it is there for them. We need to include our children in their education. So get them involved in planning, maybe planning the day, planning the week, planning what it is that they want to learn so that they are active and involved. Because remember, when we can get them involved in it, that can help to spur their interest, maybe help them to focus on different things. Now, I truly believe in having a rhythm and a flow. Some people really love a set schedule, this is what we're going to do at these times, and that works for them. But I do love a rhythm and a flow. And I have like a video on that. So check that out. And for our children with ADHD, this can be great because then they're not hyper-focusing on how much time they have to do it. They just know that they can do it. And, this is just helpful. They get to, especially if they're involved with it, it really helps them. And from that, like make a daily checklist. This is our to-do list. Some children like to have it like they put it in order. I'm going to do this, then this, then this, then this. Or for others, they like to have that checklist and then they can just bounce back and forth to what they want to be doing. But knowing this is what I have to complete today, as long as I get it done by this time, like that's really great. That whole checking it off is such a beautiful thing. Move and allow for movement. I mean, who really wants to be just sitting at a chair all day? Our kids need to move. So don't think traditional desk and chair. Think like exercise ball. Think like jumping on a trampoline, laying on the floor, like riding a scooter around, having like exercise balls, like bean bags if it's not too rustly, like hammocks, whatever it might be, just so that we can be like moving, having that variety of seating, like just having breaks. Like that is really good. Like plan for breaks and know, okay, you've done English, have a quick break. Like doing that, getting those wiggles out and allowing them to walk while they're doing their schoolwork, jumping, walking, all of these things are great because it's involving the body. And when we're doing that, it's enabling them to really help to focus. It's what they need. And incorporate their learning style. Okay, into your curriculum. Okay, this is to me very important. I love the learning styles. I've actually got quite a number of videos on the different learning styles and how we can be using them. So check them out. We've got a playlist for the different learning styles and the different videos like on it. So you can find out more. But when you can incorporate their learning style, then yes, you are actually really individualizing their education and meeting their specific needs. So this is like how we can successfully homeschool. When we've got those things in place, to me, like that actually doesn't really feel like overwhelming and daunting. It's like, oh, actually a lot of those things seem very practical and make sense. The don't list. Why, yes, I have a don't list. We want to be successful, right? So these are really the 3 key things that I say don't. 1, don't make it look like a traditional school. Okay, don't have like school at home. That's why we're bringing them out, right? Because we want them to be able to move. We want them to have that freedom. We don't want to be set to like specific times that they have to do a subject or work. So don't make it look like a traditional school. Don't try to be a classroom teacher. Be a facilitator or a guide, okay? Especially if you haven't been trained in teaching, and many of us haven't, step away from that and thinking, what does a classroom teacher do? No, I'm going to come alongside. I'm going to help you focus. I'm going to lead you. I'm going to guide you. This truly is like a great thing. And then the third one, don't forget to get support for yourself too. Okay, so many times, we're busy getting the support for our children. Maybe there's additional therapies that they need, speech therapy, occupational therapy, like there's different things, a learning coach, They are all great things, but get support for yourself too. Someone that you can talk to, like on those frustrating moments, or, just needing some ideas on what you can do if you've like hit a wall, and also getting time for yourself, like that support that maybe somebody can come for a while so that you can just get some time for yourself. That is very key and very important when we are homeschooling a child with ADHD. So can you do it? Yes. If you are thinking about it and you're really, really not sure, you know what? Reach out, talk to somebody about it. I'm here. I think it's great. I think it is so rewarding for you and for your child. Okay. And then, as I've said to other people before, and in so many different things when it comes to homeschooling, you can change your mind. You can bring them home, and if it's not working, you can go back into a school setting. It's not set in stone if you bring them home. But I truly believe that we can successfully homeschool our children with ADHD, and it can be a rich and rewarding experience for one and all. Well, thank you so much for watching today, for being part of this learning life. And I hope that you are loving learning this life as we're learning about homeschooling and parenting, education stuff. Thank you for watching. And, if you want to see more of these videos come out, because I love bringing them out weekly for you, you can join us as a champion. And you can do that at patreon.com or check out my website, learningthis.life.